reckless being in the mountains than those guys ripping at 180 down a groom trail. That seems super scary.
Yeah, I had a buddy almost die one time on Falcon Lake. He went off the groom trail and hit an ice ridge and flipped his sled. They had to air ambulance him to the hospital.
That's the other thing I had no idea about was ice ridge, man. That's freaky.
Yeah.
So you get these heaves, and apparently in the lakes it'll occur in generally the same area each year, right?
Yeah.
So, or a pressure ridge they call them too. So it'll just be like some of them are. It's like 3 feet. The ice will heave up.
Yeah,
and you can't
sometimes
see
it's
it.
only a foot and a half. You can't see it out of the snow. And
yeah, wow.
He was clipping. He went off the groom trail and hit it. And
it's like hitting a wall if you're going the wrong way. Otherwise, you just drop off, right? And then that's obviously the better of
dug into the ridge and it flipped his sled and it threw him off. And
crazy. Yeah, that's freaked me out when I found out about pressure ridges. Because some days when you're out there and it's gloomy, if there's lots of clouds, so you get that kind of white light, the sun, similar to, the light of today, plus fresh snow, and it just, you can't see anything.
On Lake Winnipeg, it's quite common. Everyone takes their trucks out to go ice fishing. They drive their trucks out on the lake. And there was one day, all of a sudden, an ice ridge formed, and people were stuck on the lake with their trucks because they couldn't get their trucks over. There's a foot and a half, 2 foot gap of a crack.
Oh, really?
So people had to come out with boards, and they had to drive their truck over the boards to get over the ridge.
Oh, freaky. No, what you want to see is a huge open crack like that.
No. Apparently there was just a big bang, and it just separated.
Really? Yeah, little cracks and stuff, that actually, they say, strengthens the ice. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to see
a 2 foot gap. It's a little sketcy.
Yeah, that's not so much stronger, I don't think. Yeah, Greg's got some pictures of bears looking through people's windows in their vehicle. I had that when I got here last November. It was late freeze up, so the bears were still kicking around, like they hadn't made it out onto the ice yet. And we were driving around, and we've seen a whole bunch of them, and they just come right up to the truck, and like you're looking out your window staring at a polar bear in the face.
Yeah.
They'll try to get in the box of the truck too. They'll climb up there to try to take a sniff, but yeah, the one image I'm looking at here, it makes you realize how big they are.
Yeah, I haven't seen one yet.
No, they're starting to show up more. We've been seeing them, well, we got to see one, but since they started showing up again, a lot of bears go to Eskimo Point. And then there was about 6, I guess, the other day out at Bird Cove. And we've had a bunch in town, like you hear those cracker shells going off. But I've only seen a handful myself so far. I've gone out driving quite a few times now and been skunked. Didn't get lucky. But that'll be... chances will be improving every day now. My parents are coming on the 5th, apparently. Just found that out today. Gonna come visit.
Come to check out the Churchill lifestyle.
See what's the big deal about this place, I guess. They're wondering why I'm so in love with it. So yeah, they're coming, and my sister and her new daughter are gonna come too. Her daughter's, now what should be maybe 4 months, 5 months, 4 months probably. Yeah, so they're gonna come for a visit, so that'll be exciting. Hopefully there's still some whales around, and then we'll go try to find some bears too and give them the whole Churchill experience. So that'll be exciting. I've been trying to talk them into it for a little while now, and should be fun. It's hard for me to tell on the screen. I think that's a sea otter. Somebody just posted from one of the orca cams. I think that's what that is. I don't think it's a seal. It looks like an otter to me. That showed up on one of the... My Name is Chalk posted that. I guess it was up on one of the orca cams. Yeah, so Laramie said the same thing. Is it an otter? I love otters. Have you ever seen them before?
No.
Really? I had 5 of them living in the, like, river otters living near the cabin this winter. They're so cool, and I've seen them when I was a kid in the ocean, the sea otters. They're neat. That's probably one of my favorite animals. They're big too, like, and when you're out skidooing around, at first I was looking, I was like, what is this? It looked like it's just like a convex kind of, something was sliding through, or you're pulling a piece of pipe, like it's making like a half, or a little half pipe in the snow, and then you see paw marks, and then slide, and then paw marks, slide. And it's the otters. They will cruise around out on the lakes, and they just get a running start, and then they jump on their bellies and slide through the snow. I'm not sure the difference in size, the sea otter to the river otter. I'd imagine, well, they're both, like, one thing I noticed is they eat well. Like, they live such a relaxing life from what I could see. They're just playing around and fighting in the water all the time, and then whenever they get hungry, there's loads of fish where we were, so they just go catch a fish. Because my only thought would be maybe the diet's better. Just like gulls, you see a gull on the coast, and they're massive. They look like an eagle compared to like seagulls at home. They're so tiny. The ones out here are ginormous. Well, not necessarily here, but on Vancouver Island and stuff too. And that's just, they have a better diet.
They're not eating McDonald's every day.
Yeah, I'm eating French fries all the time and picking through, the garbage. They're getting shellfish and stuff. So I don't know, like, I feel like the river otters eat really well too, so I'm not sure if that'd be a good way to tell which was bigger. Yeah, the otters too, I think especially the sea otters, I've heard they hold hands when they're sleeping because they float around on the water, so they link up, and then that way they don't drift apart, wake up in the morning and everyone's gone.
They're swim buddy.
Yeah, they all drifted apart. Yeah, they're just seem to be resting. They're kind of floating on the water over there. Yeah, quite a few around us. Looks like some nice big adults there. The large males, they'll get up to around 3,300 pounds.
Wow.
I was trying to think how much like a cow weighs in comparison.
Cow weighs about 2,000.
Yeah, like it's nuts to think another 1,300 pounds on a cow.
Well, it depends on the cow and the breed and
all
all
the
that.
Breed.
But
what they're being fed. A grass-fed cow is a little more lean than a corn-finished or corn-fed cow. But still, 1,300 more pounds on those things. And up to 40% of their body weight could be made up of blubber. Excuse me. Oh, so when I was saying the otters sleeping together, that's called the otter raft. Yeah, that's cool. Seems like the right name for it. Oh, we got an image up from Laramie too for... Oh man, it's a huge difference. So river otters are 20 to 25 pounds. I would have even guessed more, because the ones I seen there, they seemed big. Like, even they have huge fat tails on them. And then the sea otters, 50 to 100 pounds. So obviously river live in freshwater like rivers and lakes, and slightly salty water in the bay. Half the time on land and half in the water, swim on their bellies, have little paws and can run quick on land, eat their food on land and rock or a log. sleep in dens underground and eat fish, frogs, crayfish, bugs, rats, and birds. So that's the river otter. That whale there had some weird stuff on its back. Or that whale. So in the sea otters, they almost never leave the water. I didn't know that either. Float on their backs. So I think even when they float and they eat the otters, they'll have like a shellfish and they'll be, or if they get crab, I've seen them eat crabs before and they float around and they rest on their bellies. So they're actually two kind of almost totally different animals. Yeah, eat their food on their belly. Sleep wrapped up in kelp seatbelt. Urchin, crabs, clams, and octopus. Cool. Thanks for posting that, Laramie. Not covering too much ground now, eh? We're almost drifting in the same spot.
Yeah.
This wind blowing at us.
How fast can they swim?
The whales, they average, so in here, just seeing them cruising around like they are, they'll average 3 to 9 kilometers per hour. I think they get up to around 25 as a max speed. So when we're, I mean, it depends on the current and the wind, like right now, but if I go back and look on the GPS, I haven't done it in a little bit, but I mean, we've been basically doing the same thing every day. It was around 4 to 4.5 kilometers per hour is what we'd average. So we're right in that sweet spot, which I think is why they like to come hang out with the boat. It's not tough for them to follow us. The numbers might be slightly different now just because we've been cruising out to Eskimo Point, so that little jaunt back and forth would probably alter our average speed a little bit. Yeah, Laurie, I don't know, she might have been talking about the otters being friendly, curious, and inquisitive and fun. Well, we know the whales are like that. They're all those things for sure, but the otters, I don't know, I've heard scary things if you corner one of those things. Just like any animal will defend itself, but me viewing the river otters, they didn't want much to do with me. I had to kind of sneak up and then I'd sit very still. I don't think their eyesight's all that great. And you can see them sniffing at you, trying to catch your scent if they think something's there. But they'd all vanish if I spooked them. But they seem to have a lot of fun with each other, just not like these whales hanging out with us. The otters don't seem to want anything to do with people. Also, the largest otter in the world is the South American river otter. Cool, learning lots about otters today. Smoke's getting thicker. Can't see as much of land over there anymore. My nose is getting stuffy from it, actually. So is that the bulk of what you guys do, is set up the heaters, the Webasto, or are you guys like a distributor, or just?
No, not really. That's mainly the only time we do it is out here.
Oh, really?
For the tundra buggies, yeah.
Oh, so what would you be then, a mechanic, or what do you guys?
I'm a plumber and my dad is a HVAC technician, so heating, cooling, ventilation, air conditioning, all that. We mainly do new residential and commercial builds.
Yeah.
We do a lot of hydronic heating back home with just boilers and through floor heat and stuff like that. But
that's getting more and more popular.
Yeah, but we did our first buggy in 2010 in Winnipeg when it was being built in Winnipeg, and we've been coming up and doing work on them ever since. And this is my first time where I got the invite to come with. So
well, plumbing, it all seems like it goes hand in hand then.
Yeah.
I got a buddy at home and he's got his electrical ticket and plumbing, and I think he's working on here. He's got his boilers. That was a little one, eh?
Yeah.
And I think he's working on instrumentation as well. So it just seems like more things are becoming automated, or like plumbing and electrical go really well together. It's looking like it's going to be getting more and more advanced as time goes on, but we just got a group surrounding us right now. Is it all run through is it PEX, or what do you guys use for
floor heat?
No, well, the floor, I guess, is...
The floor heat, we use PEX.
Yeah. And
for here, with the Vaso, is just a heater hose.
Oh, really?
So just a rubber hose.
Oh, okay.
With barbed fittings and hose clamps.
Oh, okay.
And then, when they built the 2 new sleeper buggies in 2010, we did the plumbing in those, and then all the air movement system, the HRV, and the...
Oh, really? So that's going to be a pretty big job, eh? Especially considering it's not like you just...
Well, it was tough because they were such a rush to get on the train and get up here that we didn't get to test everything at home where everything's readily available.
Yeah.
Had to come up here and then test everything, make sure everything was working, and do some tuning and...
Because it's not standard. I mean, all these buggies, the blueprints, the way they're building them now, it's all like their own invention. It's custom.
Everything's custom. And,
yeah.
And then it's such a small space to put all the electrical, the plumbing, and the heating. So our company does the plumbing and the heating, so that's nice. But we got to work with the electricians and communicate where our stuff is going, because you're so limited on space.
Yeah. And is it then you'd have like hot water on demand kind of dealios going? Yeah. Those things are slick, eh? Yeah. I love those. So it's basically, I guess if people don't know at home, instead of having a hot water tank in your house, you'd have hot water on demand, so it just heats the water. We have one at home, and it just, heats it as you need it kind of thing. So on the inside, it's just a coil of water would run through, right?
Yeah, because it looks like a conventional hot water tank, but it's just a coil through the middle that the water flows through and heats up, and then out the tap.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really cool, and then it's more energy efficient as well, because you're not heating a large tank of water, and if you don't use it, it's just got to constantly be keeping it warm.
Yeah, that's how Canada is. We mainly use hot water tanks, and it's weird because everywhere else in the world has their on demand.
Really?
It's such a waste of energy having this big body of water you're heating up and you're keeping warm.
Always, it's just always got to be kept hot, whether you're using it or not. Chalk's just asking about the fires. So I think Greg, he posted the map for Manitoba, the fires happening here, so there is a lot of them. You can scroll down on the message board and check those out and see how many are burning still in Manitoba. There's still some in BC. I had a friend over there in Squamish. It was so bad, they said I think it's at they'll rate it, the air quality 0 to 10, 10 being the worst, and they just blew the scale out of the water. They just didn't recommend you being outside. It's so thick and gross. She moved actually now, so she's moved into Alberta, so I can't ask her about it anymore, but I think it lifted quite a bit, and they got those ones under control, but I think there's still fires burning. I seen one starting in Kelowna a couple days ago. So there's still definitely fires happening. We had some smoke earlier a few weeks ago that they said was blown in from BC. But I'm guessing this stuff's all from here in Manitoba. So do you know the toilet systems out there? Someone's asking how the bathrooms work on the buggies.
There's 2 systems. We have a gray water system, which is from the sink and the shower, and the kitchen. And then the toilet is on its own black water system, so there's 2 separate tanks. So the toilet drains it just to make it as efficient as possible, so you're not dumping all that. So the gray water system can be treated and cleaned up, where the black water you get put in the septic tank, and it's sent to a different filtration system.
And it's got to be kept warm.
Yeah, kept warm so it doesn't freeze. And
how do you guys keep it warm then?
We have a heater underneath.
Oh really?
It's all framed in underneath and insulated, and then we have one of the hydronic heaters keeping it above temperature underneath. And also on the sleeper buggies, we have the HRV, the exhaust from the HRV, dumping into that cavity as well, just to use them make it as most energy efficient as possible.
Yeah.
Not wasting
so the exhaust is just getting pumped through the tank basically. Like, do you have a coil in there where it's just cycling through?
No, it's just beside it.
Oh, okay.
It's just the radiant heat of it.
Oh, okay. Because we used to have on our tanks, like on the pump trucks and the rigs and stuff, you just had steam lines running through the tanks, right? And then you just hook the hose up and blast it through, and then it'd circulate through and thaw it out or heat it up, whatever you're trying to accomplish. So Greg, updated there. You got the Manitoba wildfire map closer up to the top of the forum, so you're not having to scroll down searching for it. Actually working out not bad right now. We're still getting the whales kind of hanging out, but we're not having to flip around quite yet.
No, it's not as rough as I thought it was going to be either.
No, not even close.
Pretty
like
good.
This is a lot better than it was 2 days ago, and the wind I think it's blowing harder than what it was a couple days ago. I think it helps too being the south wind, because then we're not getting all that swells coming in from
the bay.
Yeah. And it's the Cockles Point here is definitely helping some, giving us a little bit of protection. I think looks more choppy out in the middle. It was choppier when we were heading over here.
A couple whales right underneath us.
Yeah, seeing bubbles coming up. Yeah, so the days are numbered out here now, which don't even like thinking about it. But we're gonna try to, I'm trying to figure out, I guess, what I think would be the best date, but then obviously that has to work out for cam ops and Explorer and all that stuff, so we'll be chatting about that, and then as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know right away. But it's kind of coming to that time of year. We're still seeing whales out here, which is good. No shortage of them. But I guess the weather too, as long as the weather holds up. And it can really start to turn any day now. Oh, and Wannabe Traveler got up, we were talking about bear buggies. They got a little Canadian street gang. It's hard on my thing, it looks like those are, can't tell if they're black bears or not, but Wouldn't want to be walking down that road. It's just a picture of 4 bears out on the highway. Starboard side. Man, I have no idea, like, I can't see anything directly below me in the water, but we're getting all these screenshots. There's whales passing by. Just have no idea they're down there. Calf popping up on my side. These guys are cruising up towards us. It's about 4 or so, mostly adults. Here too. chopper off in the distance there.
Yeah.
Meg, well, she's been on the boat. Everybody at home will know who I'm talking about. She went out. They're out. That might be them. They headed out to a Pusk today. I was wondering, I was going to say, hopefully this wind, I know those guys, they're pretty skilled, the pilots of those choppers.
Yeah, I saw them. There was one chopper that was leaving just after lunch, around 12:30.
Oh, really?
12:45 was taken off. It was weird. Usually you can see them fly all the way out, but today you just didn't see them very long.
Yeah, they vanished. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like I know earlier this summer when BJ and Tim went out to one of the Cape camps, it was super windy. But the pilot said he's pretty okay with it, or pretty comfortable in the wind. It seems like it'd be, well, I don't know what would be more scary, a helicopter or a little airplane, but yeah, I know they got to go to a Pusk, and I think they're doing a hike and stuff today, so that would have been fun. Getting some pictures of scarring, it looks like. That's awesome, getting all those beluga bits photos. Yeah, I've never been in a chopper, but might get a chance this fall to go in one.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah. I've always, like, the few times where I've had the opportunity, the people I was with, to do a tour, they didn't want to for some whatever reason. But yeah, I've always wanted to try it. I've always wanted to skydive out of one. It's supposed to be pretty crazy because you don't have any of that forward momentum, so you hang off, and then they say when you let go, it's like the cartoons where they start to tread air.
Yeah.
So when you jump out of a plane, if you're already moving forward, so it just feels like you got resistance. Wonder what our map's gonna look like today when I go back on the GPS. We've moved about 50 yards in the last hour.
Yeah, you just keep looking over the shore. We haven't moved much.
Yeah.
You can see the tundra buggies from here.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera would pick that up.
Yeah, we'll maybe head back that way.
Turn
Kind of get a little closer to shore when we go back. So that's like that's the lodge setup.
Yeah, that's the back two. The ones furthest to the right. Those two are the sleepers.
Yeah.
The one where all the windows, that's the new one that came up last year. That's the lounge.
I've been in that one. They had cams on there that they're taking down.
And then the one in front of that is the kitchen. They're renovating that right now. They're redoing the kitchen.
Oh, really? That's got to be a big job, holy.
Yeah. And then
is that other guy then that came up? Is that what
yeah.
he's kind of heading up?
Yeah, he's just a handyman. He comes up all the time, and he's here during the tour as well.
Oh, really?
As one of the maintenance guys.
Yeah, the lounge car, or is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty slick, eh?
Yeah,
it's
with
cool.
the sky windows.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, big, huge windows on both sides so you can look out.
And there's a viewing deck on top.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, oh yeah, the spiral staircase, isn't it? Or is that what it is?
Yeah,
that goes up. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, they tow all that out, which is also crazy. It's like a big train of...
Yeah, they don't move quick, but yeah, they set it up, they line them all up, and then they just...
People live out there, you don't touch ground for a week. You're...
No.
I wouldn't say stuck in the cars, because it's pretty cool to be out there. Yeah, I don't think you'd feel stuck, it's just odd.
You have everything you need. Right?
Yeah, odd being contained.
You got your hot meals, hot shower, and
yeah,
it's like staying in a hotel.
Yeah, really good food, I hear.
You know, and all the new renovations and the new buggies, it's super nice in there.
Yeah,
very nice, very luxurious.
Yeah, I just peeked in through one of the windows into the sleeper cars, and they looked very nice. I didn't get to see any of the rooms, but everything that I was able to check out looked very nice.
There's a new one coming up.
Oh, really?
I don't know when. It was supposed to be
up
this week, but with the rail being down, it's coming via boat.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
The ship is the first one's supposed to be here soon.
It's the dining cart
Oh, so you need that one.
So right now, if it doesn't get up in time for bear season and doesn't get ready in time for bear season, the lounge will be the
dining
for the time being.
We got one hot on our tail here coming, a juvenile.
Because the dining and the kitchen used to be in one buggy, and so the kitchen was very tight, very cramped. So people were working in there. It was
pretty cramped.
And there wasn't room. It was hard to get everything prepped. And
yeah.
Because we were making breakfast. One person's making breakfast, one person's prepping for lunch, and when you only got 7 feet of counter space, you're fighting for space.
How many people do you know do they take out in the lodge? Do you have any idea? Or?
I think they can fit. I think it's 40.
Holy.
Because there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20. Yeah, each bunk can fit. Cart can fit 20.
Wow. Yeah, so 40 people. That's a lot of people to cook for, plus staff.
10 windows on this side of the sleeper.
Yeah.
Each window is a bunk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's a lot of people to be cooking for in a tight little kitchen.
Yeah.
But I'm just surprised they're able to pull that train through the, like I was out there this winter to see the condition of like the barrens or whatever. I don't know if they groom the trails or how they manage, but it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works. How many, I think they just bring one at a time and set them up.
Yeah, it's cool. Back them all together so you could walk in between. It's like on an actual train where you walk in between cars. There's that little void. Oh, we got one right beside me as I was leaning down there. Yeah, I'm not sure where they're all headed to. Oh, there's a pile, eh?
Yeah.
It's all on the port side, a big group that are cruising in front of us now. Probably a dozen whales or so. Oh, it looks like one turned around. Oh, they're all kind of cutting off in front of us now. We're gonna be maybe going over top of them here. Try to go to the side of them a little bit. Wow, it's probably more than a dozen whales actually. All mostly adults, it looks like. Big ones. Lori's asking if the smell of cooking would bring in the bears out there. Oh, for sure. They'd be probably sniffing. They got a really good sense of smell. They say, I've heard people say with black bears, their noses are 7 to 10 times stronger than a bloodhound.
Yeah.
And polar bears would be very similar, I'd imagine. I haven't gotten those numbers from people, but they just tell me how sensitive their sense of smell is. So yeah, sniffing all that food would probably get them curious. I wonder if at first it, definitely get their attention, but then maybe they realize soon that they're not, that aroma doesn't lead to any food. So it's not worth investigating. I'm not sure how that would work. Oh, awesome. Greg put up photos. It looks like we got 4 of the lodge dining and lounging areas. Wow, it looks very nice. give you guys an idea of what we were talking about. So yeah, it's a pretty unique experience. You get out there out in the middle of nowhere, you're viewing polar bears, and you'll get lucky and maybe see some caribou or some Arctic fox, things like that.
Well, and this is some of the craziest northern lights as well.
And then yeah, at nighttime you get the insane auroras.
Yeah.
And they'd be basically almost on a nightly basis unless there was cloud cover or if you had a storm or something like that. But
well, Tuesday night was pretty wild. We went to the beach and around 11 o'clock at night, and it was just crazy.
Really?
And it was a 4 on the scale.
And yeah, it goes up to 9.
Once you get out to 9 nights in January and in the winter, it's just wild.
Yeah. I can't believe, I don't know if these whales are feeding or what's going on. We got a whole bunch in front of us now. Yeah, I don't know what numbers I seen in the winter, but they're just insane. I had no way of knowing. I didn't have internet out there, so. But yeah, they're pretty crazy. So I'd like to see this winter. I'll gauge it, kind of check it all the time and see. Okay, well this is a 4, this is a 9. See what the difference is.
And one of the buggy drivers, Jim, he was going over the scale with us last night. He was online. He's like, "Well, I wonder what's going to be tonight." And he's like, "Well, last night was this," and
yeah.
I'm not sure what the scale, what makes what land on the scale, but
yeah, he's
pretty cool.
Yeah, we had Jim out the other day. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he's a character. He's funny.
Yeah. Surrounded by whales right now.
Water seems to be a little bit clearer now than it was.
A little bit, eh? We're getting photos, so they're seeing them on the underwater cam, which is really good. And I was thinking it was just gonna act as the hydrophone today, but
it's a warm wind out today.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, I'm so happy. Like, this is a cakewalk compared to what it can be. So you're not getting any complaining from me. Yeah, it's not like it's warm and then we have a wind. It's like an actual warm wind that's coming in. It's awesome. Man, there's, I don't even, 20-something whales here probably, at least. It's so tough to count them when they're moving all over and they're up and down, and you don't know if it's that one that just surfaced, if you counted him, or if it's a different one. Some big scarring on that one in front of us. It's got a big, huge one on his back behind his dorsal ridge, right there. 2 of them do, actually. I think they must have some fish that they're chowing down on or something right now. They're fairly active up and down. Kind of all congregated into this one group. See Lori saying she's jealous that we're here getting a boat with the whales, but this job or this opportunity wouldn't exist if it wasn't for people like you and everyone else that's viewing. It's your guys' interest in the belugas that make this happen, so I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everybody tuning in. Neither of us would. So I appreciate everybody that views. There's no doubt about that. That allows me to have this opportunity. Yeah, so the terns buzzing around, and when we see them hunting, catching fish, yeah, it's basically there'll just be those schools of capelin or whatever else I guess they see. We've seen some little cisco at the launch, and they just they got a obviously excellent vision, and they're kind of at a higher elevation, so they're able to see a little bit better than if we're looking for them. But then they just dive down and snatch up these little capelin out of the water. I think it's impressive how accurate they are, just to smash into the water with their little beak and pluck a fish out of there. It's pretty crazy. Then there's other types of birds that dive as well, and they actually go under the water to catch the fish sometimes too, so that's even more crazy if you ask me. But we've seen lots of them flying away with a big capelin in their mouth flapping away.